I can't believe I have to say this, but I guess no one else is going to. Chops do not come at the expense of groove. You don't cash in a Chops token for every groove token. How can I make this even clearer? This pervasive, persistent myth that there are Chops players and groove players is wrong. If you're good enough to have world-class chops, you probably have world-class pocket too. And people who know how to listen know this. Little backstory, and let's start this from the end. The straw that broke the camel's back. I like watching Sarah Thor play. She's flashy. She takes risks. She doesn't hold back. And this past week, I was watching a Sarah video and it came up in my newsfeed. Wayne Shorter's Pinocchio, right? Weather report version. I'm headed into the comments to leave one and I see this. Actually, I won't show it because I don't want to put anybody on blast. But it was somebody saying something like, "Nice chops, but where's the groove?" This is Sarah Thor, mind you. Sarah Thor. But let's back up even more to the whole Stop the Chop thing, which currently looks like an anti-clear cutting campaign, but which, trust me, a few years ago was a hashtag Instagram drummers used to post groove and pocket videos. And come on, do you need me to prove there's a whole chorus of people who think good chops equal bad groove? If you've been in musical circles at all, you've probably heard this. It's all chops, bro. When do I get to hear some groove? All these chops do nothing for me. He's just a chopper. She's just a chopper. They're just a chopper, no groove. Hey, how about you stop worrying about chops and start worrying about groove? Now, I'm gonna prove to you that chops don't really equal lack of groove, but do I really have to prove that? But clip to keep you interested. No Thomas Pidgeon, the king of crazy chop outs? Let's see if we can find a clip of him grooving. Oh, wasn't hard, was it? Eric Moore, so many chops, people have made him the butt of jokes. Groove clip. Who else? Point being, do I really have to keep doing this? But you're probably wondering, if that's all bunk, why is this myth so persistent? Or are you saying, so there's zero merit to the idea that if you play 30 seconds over an entire song, that's tasteless? Or even, what about all the choppy drummers I've heard that had crappy pocket? We'll get into those. And you won't believe the answers I'm gonna give. That's one more reason to stick around until after the channel theme. Another is, the channel theme is cool. What's wrong with the channel theme? See, told you that was cool. Okay, let's deal with these objections. Objection the first. Why does this myth persist? Wait. No, it'll be more parsimonious if I do them in reverse order. Let's try that again. Objection the first. What about all those choppy drummers I've heard who couldn't groove? Because I think what we're really talking about is not Eric Moore or Andy Prado or Sarah. It's a guy or girl who's watching this, who's played in Battle of the Bands or Studio Band. Is that still a thing? Keep in mind, nobody's let me out of the practice room since 2000. Anyway, their touchstone for choppy drumming isn't sitting alongside Nick Smith or Justin Tyson at a rehearsal. It's sitting alongside somebody not as good. So when you show them footage of the greats playing groove, not just as well, but a lot of times better than other people, they're thinking, okay, some chop drummers have the groove, but not Johnny from Studio Band. Well, my answer is simple. He's not a real chopper. He's just a bad drummer who's also a show-off. Or a drummer who's still learning, who in time will learn to groove and play real chops. Like, in case anybody thinks I'm judging, here I am doing jujitsu. And I'm at this stage where I'm like, bro, I just turned upside down and got a leg lock entry, even though I didn't finish the leg lock. Eventually, I'll realize that none of this flash is doing me any good, and I need to actually finish those leg locks and play a higher percentage game. And part of me will die. Aww. But point being, I'm on the journey or whatever. But I'm also, compared to good people, bad at jiu-jitsu. Let's not sugarcoat this. But imagine some white belt watching me and concluding leg locks don't work. They shouldn't be watching me. They should be watching Craig Jones. Both can be true. So before you decide choppers can't groove, make sure you're watching real choppers. Object in the second. So you're saying there's zero merit to the idea that we shouldn't just chop for an entire song? Of course not. Like, am I saying Ringo should have chopped over Blackbird? Actually, don't show that. Not trying to get a copyright strike. But of course you have to let the tune breathe and get those booties shaking or whatever it is that Zach Groove says.
You're supplying that beat that makes them booties move.
And these choppers know that too. Like, Chris Dave isn't gonna do all his crazy stuff with Erykah Badu.
Say Annie, don't wear no pennies.
Spanky's not gonna just solo over the verse when he's playing with Jill Scott.
You can try as you may, break me down, but I say.
Nate Smith's made an entire career out of people knowing he's got crazy chops, but hardly ever pulling them out. And you know what? I'm gonna steel man this. I'm gonna make my opponent's argument better than they are. What about drummers like Patrick Carney? Or Will Champion? Or any of a dozen other drummers who are known for groove but who don't really play chops. That exists too. Just because choppers can groove doesn't mean there aren't groove specialists. But now I have to address a looming potential loophole in my argument. One, if I know you, you're gonna try to drive a truck through. Nate, why is it there are groove specialists who don't really chop, but you're saying all the choppers like Eric Moore can groove too? Here goes. To be a good chopper, you have to have good time and good micro time. You need to hear fractions of beats. Time has to slow down for you. So if you need all that to play chops, it'll probably help your groove playing too. But two other things. First, if you argue groove is foundational, the choppers probably played the same number of hours of gigs that the groove specialists did. They just also put in crazy hours in the shed learning to chop. Okay, and the second is kind of repeating myself, but I think chopping is better cross-training for groove than the other way around. Had to get that out of the way. Okay, objection the third. If there's no there, why does this myth persist? Well, we heard one reason. People listening to bad drummers who chop and making bad extrapolations. But there's probably another one, and it's one I know because I felt it myself. Simple jealousy. They're mad they can't do this. Or this. Or maybe they've made a decision to specialize in groove, but they've got a little FOMO. And they see the people getting the attention on the social medias are the choppers. I get it, bro. I've been there too. But let's call this what it is. Last thing. If you know me at all, you know I'm usually the one on the chops aren't everything side. Like the three big differences between great and mediocre drummers, and chops aren't one of them. I still believe that. But I also don't fool myself that I could groove better than the choppers. Stop hating is what I'm saying. Stop the chop. And on that note, here's where we'll conclude. If you like this lesson, if you have a constructive opinion, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you've been following the channel for a hot minute, if you're a lurker, if you've been lurking, you feel like you might be ready to study with me, you might be ready to take the next step. I recommend my course, the 80/20 coaching course, which will literally take you from intermediate to advanced if you finish it. And it's like 3 to 6 months of studying with me, all for around the price of a single lesson. Of course, we only open that up a few times a year, and we only open it up to my exclusive mailing list. If you'd like to get on that mailing list, just click the link below the player. And for doing that, I'll give you a free gift, get your appetite whet, kind of a gateway drug. Give you my 3 free video mini course, 3 videos to improve your playing more in the next 3 weeks than it's improved in the previous 6 months. Just click below the player and enter your email just to hook that up. Dudes, it's been real. Always enjoy these. See you again in another Last Time of the Week. you tripping, bro? Why you tripping? Why do you trip? In Russia, trip you.